Opinion on a situation you're in, you're confused, you don't know what to do, you love your partner and you're having problems and you just need somebody to tell it to you straight as to what's going on, why it's going on, and offer you some ideas of how to solve the problem. So go to the website, link in the description, and check it out. Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. Good morning. Today, I want to talk about something that a lot of people don't realize when they first start talking to somebody. They just assume that the person that they're talking to is single, that person is not talking to other people or is not in a situationship or, even in some cases, a relationship that you don't know about. So I'm going to give you some signs that the person you're dating or beginning to talk to has somebody like a situation or is seeing or talking to somebody else. And I'm going to give you, I put together like a list of things that could be red flags that the person that you're trying to get to know has somebody that they deal with. Okay, so let me just jump right in. First of all, one of the things is when you meet somebody, I always say, look at their social media. You can find out little clues from somebody's social media. For instance, if they don't have single on their Facebook status, that could be a red flag, but it doesn't necessarily mean it is. But you have to look at the whole picture, you guys, when you go in on this. Because the problem is sometimes people start talking to someone, get to know somebody, start dating someone, and they see that person is not showing them enough interest. The person likes them. It's like my last podcast. They're showing interest but don't want more. And that happens a lot because sometimes these people have somebody that you don't know about on the side. Like I said, it could be a friends with benefits, a situationship. And they are not going to tell you, okay, because they want to keep you around for some benefit that they could get from you. They're not being 100% upfront with you. So one of the signs is also this person that you're getting to know is not looking to see you a lot, all right? For instance, they may talk to you all during the week and they may text you all during the week, but then they don't want to see you on a weekend, okay? Maybe if they're not giving you a Friday or Saturday night and they're within distance of you, it could be because they're seeing that other person, okay? The other thing is when this person ghosts all the time. See, this is another thing that a lot of people don't realize, and especially a lot of women. They think that when they first start meeting somebody and they say, "Are you single?" And they say, "Yeah, I'm single." They just assume that person is completely free, and that person isn't completely free, you guys. A lot of these people have somebody on the side that maybe they're not necessarily in a relationship with, but that they're having sex with, okay? So you got to be aware of that. That's why this person is not giving you 100% of their time or 100% of their attention, because you're not the only one. The other thing is when you're talking to them, there could be breaks in their texts. Okay, here's the thing. When you're texting somebody and you notice that, you're having a conversation with them and it's taking like 20 minutes in between texts for them to text you back, and they're not in the middle of, let's say, painting their house or something like that. They're not in the middle of doing something like that. That, in a lot of cases, is because they're texting other people. Another sign is if you're texting that person and that person sends you something, a text, that doesn't really fit, into the conversation that you're having. So that could be a red flag that they are talking to somebody else, texting somebody else when they're texting you as well. So I had a friend of mine go through this where she was texting somebody trying to get to know him, and they were having a conversation about, you know, something with his work and everything. And out of the blue, she gets a text that says something like, "You sexy M motherfucker." And she's like, wow, where is this coming from? Because it was out of context. And then she's like, oh, what are you talking about? And he's like, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But when she looked at it, she realized that that text was not meant for her because they were not at that point and it didn't fit into the context of their conversation. So this person was texting her and texting somebody else at the same time. So you got to be aware of these things when you're getting to know somebody, because when people start out, they have other options or other people that they're already talking to before they met you. So don't assume that, all those other people that they were talking to in the past, they're not talking to them anymore. Another situation is if these people have friends, like female friends, or they keep mentioning a female's name all the time. And they say, oh, that's just a friend, that's my girl or something like that. That's my home girl or something like that. That girl may be a friends with benefits that they talk to if they're constantly bringing that person up. Now, I'm not saying necessarily so that they are, for instance, having a sexual relationship with them. But you know what? You have to keep that in the back of your mind when you're dealing with this person, because this person may not be completely single and unattached. All right. Another sign, okay, that there could be another person that person you are with is talking to. He asks you out last minute because he's juggling someone else and is unsure if he's going to see them or see you. So in other words, he leaves you all week long, wondering if you're going to go out with him. This happens a lot, you guys. You're talking to somebody, the weekend's coming up, it's a Thursday night, and they haven't brought up about seeing you. Okay? Why haven't they? And let me just say one thing. They're not stupid. They know what they're doing. So never assume that they're stupid. And you let them take the lead, okay? Now, if by Thursday night they're not bringing up anything, you make your other plans accordingly, okay? Or in some cases, some people might say something to them like, well, am I seeing you this weekend? I personally think that's kind of like making yourself look desperate that you're waiting around for them, and that is something that you never want to do, okay? You never want to have to kind of bring yourself down to ask about, am I going to see you? If they're not bringing it up, then obviously it's not that important to them. Because when somebody really wants to see you, they're going to nail you down because they're afraid that you may make plans with somebody else, okay? Another sign that the person you are talking to or dating, okay, is not completely single or dating other people is they don't bring you around their friends or family. This is a big one. You guys, all right? They are not going to bring you around their friends and family if they don't see you as somebody that is going to be around a while, because we know how that goes. You don't want to bring anybody around your friends and family because when it doesn't work out, you got to hear it from the friends and family. Oh, what happened to so-and-so? Oh, you're not dating that person anymore? Oh, and then you got to hear everything, okay? And nobody wants to deal with that. All right? Another sign is when you let's say you go out on a date with that person. You take a picture with that person together. You guys take a picture together. And you send that picture to that person saying, look at us, it's a great picture and everything. And that person just never posts it on their social media. See, now, you're not necessarily in a relationship, and I understand that, and some people don't want to air out their business on social media like Facebook or Instagram, posting pictures of somebody they're dating. But if you've been dating them a while and they never ever want to post a picture, let's say of, your times together or something like that, that could be a sign that they have other people on their social media that they don't want to see that. Okay, so you got to be aware of that. And if you're in a relationship with somebody and they refuse to post your picture, that is a huge red flag, you guys. That's a huge red flag. That, in a lot of cases, means that they're creeping and talking to other people and don't want anybody to know about you. Okay, that's why I say when you get in a relationship with somebody and they're telling you, oh, yes, we're in a relationship, they could say that too just to get the benefits of maybe sleeping with you. So they'll just tell you what you want. You got to make sure that they make it public to their friends, family, social media. Okay. All right. Let me go down the list here. Okay. Another clue that person that you're dating is still talking to other people or seeing someone else is they have not deleted their dating apps. Okay? Now, when you meet somebody on a dating app, a lot of them are career dating app people, all right? They are just addicted and they haven't deleted it. And sometimes you even catch them on there. Now, if you've been dating them a few weeks and they haven't deleted their profiles, guess what? You are not the one, all right? Because if you're moving along and everything's going well, there is no reason for them to have it unless they're still looking. They're still looking. And sometimes these people are just addicted. They just can't resist the eye candy. And if that is the case, and you've dated this person and they've gotten to know you and they still haven't deleted that, this is not somebody that you can grow into a relationship with most of the time, okay? Because they still want to see what else is around. You got to trust your gut, you guys, on things, okay? Another thing is he's nice enough, but you feel like you don't have his complete attention. And I'm going to tell you why you don't have his complete attention. Because his attention is elsewhere. His attention is talking to other people. And this goes for men to women too, you guys, or partner to partner. It's common sense. We're talking human nature, okay? If somebody can't give you 100% of their attention or 100% of their time, that attention and time has got to be going somewhere. Now, there could be instances where it's not necessarily another person they're giving their attention to. For instance, if they're very busy within their work or there's a family situation going on, that's why you got to see what's going on and be careful, because sometimes they'll give you excuses and tell you that, and they are talking to other people or they do have somebody else. So you have to watch and see how they are. Another clue that the person you are dating has somebody else is they're always checking their phone when you guys are together. This is classic. When you guys are together, you're sitting at the table having dinner together, they pick up the phone, they try to flip through really quick, but that phone is always being accessed, let's say every 20 minutes, every half hour, depending on the individual. The other thing is when this also goes into, when somebody's cheating on somebody too. It's kind of along the same lines. But in this case, if you're dating the person and you don't have a commitment with them, you really can't say anything because you don't have an exclusive commitment with somebody. These are just signs to tip you off to let you know that that person is not completely single mentally, okay? We're talking mentally, that, they don't have a complete mindset of focusing just on you, that there is another person around in the picture that they are talking to or dealing with, okay? Another thing, like I said, they flip the phone facing down. Classic for cheaters, you guys. A lot of times they put their phone facing down because they're afraid of notifications from the other person contacting them. So That's another thing to be aware of, okay? Another thing, okay, this really, he only sends you emoji texts or short texts with no depth, okay? This is for the person or the guy that is juggling a lot of women, okay? There are men out there that are texting a number of different women at once, okay? So they don't have the time to text you these wordy texts and get into conversation. So what do? They send you the kissing emoji every let's say for breakfast, good morning, beautiful, kissing emoji. Then they'll wait 2 hours or something and send you a bunch of kissing emojis, okay? That is to just fool you and make you think that they're into you, and it's the lazy person's way. Yes, I said it. The lazy person's way of trying to pretend that they like you so much, but they're not really making an effort to talk to you. Why? Because they're juggling so many other people, so many other women around. So this is their way of touching base, okay? Another clue, you guys. When we get back to social media, this has been a clue for a lot of people I know. If you're dealing with somebody, and you're getting to know them and you're dating them, everything's going great, and you notice they keep adding more and more, let's say if it's a male to female, they keep adding more and more females to their Facebook, okay? Or if you're a guy getting to know a female and she keeps adding more and more guys to her Facebook, okay? Now, unless she's doing that and it's part of her hustle, she has a big following and she's trying to promote a business for, say, let's say she's got an OnlyFans business, or she's promoting some kind of brand or something like that. If you're dating someone, they keep adding more and more of, let's say females or males or something like that. That could be new people that they're talking to, okay? I wouldn't put a lot of energy into that, but I'm just giving you a heads up to that. Another huge clue or sign that the person you are dating is dating somebody else or talking to somebody else is they are never jealous, okay? And they tell you. Sometimes they tell you, sometimes they don't, and they tell you, well, I'm not jealous. I'm just not that type. I'm not jealous. And they're not jealous of you, of what you do or anything like that. Okay. If somebody really likes you, they have to have a little bit of, territorial nature towards you where it would bother them if you were dating somebody else or talking to somebody else. If they're really not, it's because they're doing it, you guys. It's because they're talking to other people or they're dating other people and they don't want to question you on it because they don't want to give up what they're doing. Huge red flag, you guys. But you also have to be careful of the people that are overly jealous as well. I needed to touch upon that too, because they could be very controlling and narcissistic, and there's got to be a balance, okay? It's got to be natural. Another clue is that this person, they tell you stories that just don't add up. I had a woman come to me. She was dating a man. He told her the day before, my cousin passed away and I'm going to stop by at for the wake tomorrow, okay? Now, she remembers that he told her the week before his cousin passed away. Now it's a week later, and they're having the wake, and he didn't mention it the whole week about going to this wake, and the day before he says he was going to the wake. So the next day comes by, and he contacts her at like 5, 6 o'clock, and he's just making regular conversation, didn't bring up about the wake at all that he had to go to supposedly for his cousin. And she's saying to herself, boy, I thought he had to go to a wake or something. He's not even mentioning it, nothing. He just said he got home from work around 5, 6 o'clock, no mention of the wake. So she brought it up to him and she said to him, how was the wake? And he said, oh, it was okay. I didn't stay long. It was okay. Okay. Now, he could have went to the wake. He may not have gone to the wake. But the point I'm trying to make is it could also be BS as well. Because people that are seeing other people and don't want you to know about it, they make up a lot of stories, guys. Stories that don't make sense, okay? They'll say things like, oh, my mom is stopping by tonight, so can I call you later on, after 2 a.m, okay? Meanwhile, they have another chick coming by, all right? Another clue that the person you're dealing with is talking to somebody else is they love to paint the picture that they are sometimes, I'm a homebody. I stay home all the time. I'm home on the weekends. They must have all gone to the same school of bullshit. And I really mean that when I say this, because they all use the same stories. They must sit there in the locker room and talk about this. Oh, this is the one you got to use on them, right? And they talk about like, oh, pretend like you're the good guy that's always home. And yeah, I'm going to stay home on the holidays and everything like that. And I was all by myself. They love to play the victim too. That's another one. Love to play the victim of how, people have hurt them or women cheated on them. Their ex cheated on them and everything like that. Just be careful. The stories that people tell you in the beginning, like I always say, you cannot believe everything you hear in the beginning because you don't know that person. You don't know what they're about. People are going to paint a different picture sometimes. They're going to candy coat it to make themselves sound great. So another clue that somebody, it could be dating other people. This all kind of blends into the player mode too, you guys, is that they're going to try to make like they're home all the time. Now, if you're dealing with somebody who says they're home all the time, all right, and we're dealing with quarantine too, so this is a little tricky one. Sometimes they're not home all the time, or just because somebody's home all the time. I wanted to bring this up because people think that, oh, I'm dating a guy and, he's not a guy. He's not a player that's out dating a lot of women. He's always home. He's always home. He's not out dating a lot of women. Just because somebody is home all the time, they could have people coming to their crib or their place, you guys. They could have people coming at 3:00 in the morning to their place. They could have people coming to their crib at 6:00 in the morning before they go to work. You have to be aware of this. When they're not talking to you, they could be talking to someone else or seeing somebody else. Some people are better at it than others. So, the thing is, there could be breaks in communication. That is a huge red flag. In other words, you're talking to somebody, they're texting you consistently. This is what a lot of them do. They'll text you like all day long. All day long, you're getting these texts. How are you, beautiful? What's going on? What have you done? How's work? Did you get that tire fixed? All this kind of like little nonsense all day long texts. And then all of a sudden, you don't hear from these people for like a couple of hours. See, it doesn't fit into the pattern. This is what I mean about watching those patterns. Okay? If it was just somebody you were getting to know and they would contact you, let's say maybe a little bit here, a little bit there, and it was, that was their pattern. But when you have somebody that comes on strong, texting you consistently, and then all of a sudden disappears for a huge block of time, unless something happened to them, and don't ever assume something happened to them, because in most cases, you guys, 9 times out of 10, they are fine. They are fine, okay? So don't sit there when you don't hear from them and say, oh, I was worried about them. They, believe me when I tell you, 9 times out of 10, they are fine. When you see those blocks of time of ghosting, it's because usually they're with somebody else, okay? You have to look at the pattern. Don't go by, one little thing. You got to look at the pattern, the whole picture, how they communicate with you, how they treat you, how much time they give you, okay? The other thing is when somebody comes to you and they tell you they need space or they want to take a break. This one kills me, you guys, okay? They need space or they want to take a break. All right, anybody who says to you they need space or want to take a break, you don't fight with them. You say, sure, go ahead, take a break. We could take a break, but I'm just going to let you know. When you're done taking your break, take a break basically means I want to go out and see other people and go out with other people and sleep with other people in some cases, okay? It means in a lot of cases, I'm sick of you and I want something new, okay? I'm going to break it down to layman's terms here. Take a break. I love this one. Take a break. It means basically they want some. It means basically that they want to, be around somebody else and date somebody else that they're not 100% into you, okay? And if that is the case, you have to go about your business, check your other options, and say to yourself, okay, this person was not completely all into me. And even if they do come back, why are they coming back? They may be coming back because they didn't find somebody better. But the point is they doubted about being with me or they just weren't ready. And if they're not ready, that is not somebody that you want to waste your time with. You want somebody that knows what they want. You want somebody who recognizes your worth. And when somebody wants to take a break and takes a chance of losing you to somebody else, that is somebody that is not all into you. You need to keep it moving, okay? And don't be available for that person to just come back into your life whenever they feel like it, because they will do that. They will come back and take you for granted and think that you will always be around, okay? I'm just going to add a few more points of people that you are dating that are, seeing other people. Another thing that people do is they go, let's say you're on a date with them, they're always going to the bathroom and they're always bringing their phone. Again, this is very similar to when you're dating a player or you're dating or somebody. Let's say if you are in a relationship with somebody and they are cheating on you, this could be a red flag. They go to the bathroom, they always bring their phone. Let's say you go out to dinner, you're at the restaurant and they go to the bathroom more than normal, okay? It's because they're going to the bathroom to call or text somebody else when they're out on the date with you. So you just have to, if it looks like it's not natural, if it looks like, this person is doing it a lot, that could be a huge flag that person is contacting somebody else when they are with you. So you need to be aware of that, okay? Another big flag is if you're with somebody and you're starting to date them and you go out on the date and that person is checking out other women when they're with you, okay? That is a flag, you guys. Now, that's not a flag that they're necessarily seeing other people. That's a flag that they're not totally invested in focusing in on you. And if you are dating somebody and it's in the beginning and you catch this person always glancing and looking at other women when you're out, okay, and they're doing this in the very beginning when things are supposed to be new, fresh, exciting, it could only get worse down the line, okay? Because if that's where their focus is always, checking out this or checking out that, could you imagine if you were in a relationship with that person? That is somebody you have to be careful of, okay? Another sign that person that you're dating has other people that they're dating is when they don't add you to their social media, for instance, Facebook. They're not adding you to their social media because they could have somebody on their social media that they have a situationship with and they're afraid to add you, okay? Somebody that is open, somebody that is sincere in getting to know you should have no problem adding you to their social media. If they're not adding you to their social media, they have something to hide. Point blank, period, all right? Another sign is when you're dealing with somebody that could be talking or dating someone else is they tell you they like the way it is and they don't talk about the future. They're not moving forward. A lot of times when you're dating somebody, if they don't want to move forward, it could be because they are talking to other people in some cases, okay? So they don't want to move forward because they know moving forward means losing their freedom. And if they lose their freedom, then they are not able to date that other person because you will be on top of it, okay? And now you have moved to the next stage in dating, or it could be in an exclusive relationship, and they lose their freedom. So why do they not want to talk about moving forward or the future? Because they are still talking or dating somebody else, okay? So that you have to be aware of. Another thing is that you are dating somebody and they are having less sex with you, okay? You see this person, maybe you see this person once a week or whatever in the beginning, dating them or whatever, or you've gotten past that, now you're dating a couple of weeks, and you notice that the person is having less and less sex with you. If the person is having less and less sex with you, a lot of times it's because they could be having sex with somebody else, okay? It's like I said, a person can't put their energy, their time, completely into one person. It's going to show up, you guys. It's going to show up on the level of attention they give you, the level of interest they show you in calls, texts, and even in the bedroom, all right? If they're not really, overly enthused with the sex when they're with you, it could be because they're getting it somewhere else. So that is something you have to be aware of, and you have to be careful of that, because if you're dating somebody who is sleeping with somebody else, you don't know if you could catch an STD from that with them. You have to worry about sexually transmitted diseases. You have to worry about COVID as well, okay? Now you don't know who they've been exposed to or been around and can bring it back to you. So you have to be really careful who you deal with. A huge flag that they're dating someone else is that they're spending less time with you, okay? If somebody is spending less time with you, then they most times are spending time with somebody else, okay? So these are the things that I put together to give you clues as to when you're dating somebody and you're wondering why it's not moving forward. You're wondering, why you're not getting the attention you should be getting. It's because their attention in a lot of times is going to somebody else. There's somebody else in the picture. And like I said, they could be single, quote unquote, and just have that situationship of friends with benefits or something like that on the side. And that's going to be hard to develop a relationship with somebody like that, because there is that other person somewhere on the side that they have. So in other words, all that you try to do with this person, like you sometimes people try to play hard to get and everything like that to try to get the person to move in closer to them. You're going to have a hard time because they have that situationship on the side that you need to recognize the flags that it could be there. And that's why this person is not pursuing you the way it should. That's why this person is not progressing to the next level. That's why this person doesn't ask you if you're dating other people or talking to other people. That's why this person is not jealous, okay? It's because they have their situationship on the side, all right? I hope that helps you. And like I said, dating is a learning process. That's why you always have to take it slowly. And I mean, it is work, you guys. You really, it's more work than going on a job interview, because you have to look at so many different factors to really see what kind of person you're dealing with out there. There are a lot of shady people out there. There are a lot of people that will look to use you, and you have to be careful. You have to be careful for a lot of different reasons, because you don't want to get hurt emotionally. You don't want to get hurt financially in some cases. Sometimes there's people out there that try to use you for financial benefits as well, okay? And also for your own physical health. You're dealing with somebody and you're dating that person and you don't know who that person's been around or been exposed to, and if they can bring it back to you. So that's why I always tell you, take it slow and do not have sex with somebody until you have that exclusivity. I mean, you could do what you want, but this is my suggestion. I hope that helps you guys. If it did, please hit the subscribe button and share, and have a great day. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz. I want to tell you about my 2 books that are on Amazon, okay? You can download them free with the trial membership from Kindle. The first book is Regain Your Power. If you're in a relationship and you feel like your partner has all the control in the relationship, maybe you're walking around on eggshells, you're afraid to approach them, it's going to tell you how to regain your power and be happy in the relationship, okay? And what you may be doing wrong, and that's why your partner has all the control in the relationship. The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time. There's a lot of people that are dating someone or in a relationship with somebody who's not really vested in the relationship. And we often are confused as to whether our partner really likes us or is into us or wants a future with us. And this book is going to give you signs and red flags of whether your partner is into you or he's just basically drifting and wasting your time. So go to Amazon and download the Kindle free trial membership. Doesn't cost you anything. And check it out. It may help you. Okay? And have a great day.